First and foremost, I love Easter. And I think it's because it's the crescendo, if you will, of the whole, like the climax. Everything points to this and says like, but this.
Christ defeated death. He came out the other side. You know, like the Beatles once said, it's getting better all the time. Like the best is yet to come for believers.
He's risen indeed.
Here we now have this life through his death. And it doesn't mean just a life to live. It doesn't mean just to exist. We now have this abundant life.
Not only for us do we get a day to remember and glorify God for all the things he's done and his son, you know, but like, it gives us a day to go share that with our family, friends, and have a reason. Like, yeah, guys, remember, it's Easter.
Because the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is taking care of us through this.
It's Palm Sunday, starting off Passion Week and leading up to Easter. Today, we're talking about Christ's triumphal entry on the donkey.
Jesus is coming in, and not to conquer, but on a colt, feet up, riding this baby donkey. I'm like, absolutely.
I laughed because just that mental image of Jesus riding in like this.
Everything about it is so low. He made himself so low in every single way, every single little detail.
And saying, yes, he's going to save us, and it's going to be spectacular, but he's going to take a route that no one anticipated.
For Good Friday, I wasn't able to make it in person because I had to work, and so I was able to tune in to the service online.
We knew that we were, going there to commemorate and remember Jesus' crucifixion.
There was the somber aspect of like hearing these older hymns and then hearing the readings there through John, through the Gospel of John, and how John would depict this. And then we finally see the cross.
Everyone who forgives a great evil goes through a death into resurrection and experiences nails, blood, sweat, and tears.
It was heavy, but it was also very hopeful.
It made me think that I was bad off enough that somebody had to die. And the fact that Jesus, who was the least deserving of death, stepped forward, as it were, and said, it needs to be me and it will be me, is just, I think we should never get over that.
Well, actually, Easter morning, I woke up really early and just kind of had like a moment of solitude and just to pray and, just meet with Jesus. And then from there, I came right to the sunrise service.
Absolutely worth it. It was my first sunrise service that I'd ever been to in my life.
It's Easter. It's very early, but I'm really, really excited about it, as you can tell.
The intimate setting, the darkness, the sense of it's dark on the outside and we're feeling a little bit, it kind of takes our mood down a little bit.
I didn't like sunrise services until I went, and then I realized this is how it was way back when, right?
It really made me feel the scene. Like, it made me feel like, okay, like what if I was there at that time watching as Jesus was like arising again, or like how much I wish I could like get a time machine and go back and just see it.
This moment was like, the church is still called to gather. And we came together in a really beautiful sense that said, like, Jesus, you matter. Like, you matter so much.
Jordan and I were up on the junior high balcony and just watching everything happen and just watching the sunrise over the gym. It was just like, it was pretty epic.
It was super beautiful. I feel like it was very intimate, and the fact that we were worshiping and praising our risen King as the sun was rising was just very special.
Made it through.
We're closing up sunrise service, and we're going to move into the sanctuary. It's going to be awesome.
To go especially from sunrise service, like I did, to the regular services was great. I mean, I was just almost giddy the whole day.
Let's do this!
There's no one in history who's risen from the dead. No one but Jesus.
So there was this lady, and her name was Joanna, and she came up to me and she said, I haven't been here since the 1970s. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, welcome back. And I said, no, actually, welcome home. She came back to me after second, and she said, thank you so much for saying welcome home. She goes, because this really is my home.
A lot of us went out and we passed out like balloons to the kids, and they start laughing. We'd be like, no, take my balloon. And it was really fun just being able to see all the kids being really happy. You're welcome.
We got the He is Risen balloons, and it was such a beautiful time to just like share, like fellowship in a moment that felt like this is what we're supposed to be doing.
I think that 2020 in a way for some people was like a very long tomb in the garden period. We don't know what's happening. We don't see anything moving or working. But then this year, Easter really felt like that resurrection. And so that's kind of how it felt.
It did feel like we're coming out of maybe kind of the shadow, coming back into hope.
Jesus, I know you've risen from the dead, but how do I then walk as a Christian in resurrection?
I saw us do an event that was deeply theological, deeply spiritual, and heavily creative. And I think, man, like, yeah, that's the way that I want to follow Jesus.
It just gave me a different eyes to see what Easter week, Easter weekend, what Palm Sunday, Good Friday, all these things truly represent, and how that changes lives, how it has changed my life, and how it can change everyone's lives around me. And we have this amazing message to share with the world.